So we were joking before we actually started filming about how I'm using it as my therapist now.
Oh, yes. I want to hear all about it. Your privacy is out the window.
Oh.
It knows all your things.
If my data is leaked, goodbye. Oh no, my emotional support.
Do you need your lid roller?
Yeah. It's in the box. It's my new. Oh, this is the other problem. Yeah. I'm accustomed to it now. I think you're avoiding that camera, but you went straight across this one. Thank you, Deb. Okay.
I just asked it what a Reddit pixel was so I could make sure that I explain it properly if you ask me.
That's okay. We're going to ask ChatGPT anything we don't know the answer to.
Okay.
That is how I live my current life.
Yeah.
To a point where I'm like, I don't think for myself anymore. ChatGPT does.
Well, that's where I kind of have, like, this was what led me into the idea of this conversation, but maybe we should, are we recording?
We're recording.
Oh, we are.
And
okay.
we've just decided that we're not doing intros anymore. We're just talking
we're not
now.
doing intros?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anna's here with me today, everybody.
Okay.
Anna's back. Isn't this very exciting?
I'm so excited. I've missed you so much.
I've missed you. What were you gonna say?
When we were talking last night about what should we discuss, what got me thinking about this topic was my kind of like ethical dilemma of how much should I be using AI at work?
Yes.
Because I feel like I don't know if I would call it a stigma but the only word I can think of is stigma. I feel like there's a stigma of that using AI in your work life is cheating.
Yes.
Because it's like if you're in school and you use it, it is cheating.
That's a good point. I think about that too. Like, at what point does it become you're not doing the work for yourself anymore thing?
Exactly.
Sorry for this noise. I needed a new one.
So I wasn't utilizing it, I think, as much as I could have up until recently, and I plan to utilize it more.
Yeah.
Because of that dilemma. Like, am I cheating at my job? Like, am I phoning it in because I'm using AI to help me with things?
Yeah.
But I've come to the conclusion that I feel like it's a learning tool.
Yes.
If that's how you use it.
Yeah.
And so what I'm using it for is a learning tool. You don't want to, like, obviously for ethical reasons, it would be cheating to use it if you were in college and you're trying to just pass an exam.
Right, and an essay for you.
Right, because, like, what's the point if you're going to do that?
Right.
And, like, I don't want my doctor getting his medical license using ChatGPT. I want him to actually know what he's talking about.
Or giving all of his advice for you. Like, let me refer to my laptop here about this medication.
How do I perform an appendectomy again? I've done it since my internship. But for marketing, I feel like we're not removing any organs.
For a social media post, feel like it's fine.
It's okay. Yeah. So I've been using it more this, like, through March and April. I've been using it more. So I found some what I thought were cool ways of helping myself make my life easier.
Yeah.
But also do good work.
Yeah. So what transition have you made in that then? Like, you were using it at all and now you're using it. Like, what are some examples of that?
I mean, I was using it a teeny bit. Like, I would use it for, like, say I needed to write a marketing email. I would tell it, like, okay, I want to write a blog or an email about this subject, but then I would refine it myself.
I'm listening to you. I'm so sorry. I just realized I didn't turn the light on at the top of the stairs. And I'm like, these people are going to come down if I don't.
No worries.
So, okay,
actually,
carry on.
I should put my phone on Do Not Disturb. There we go.
Yeah, I'm like, these people, they're just going to be messaging me. The dinging is going to go off. And I'm active on chat. Okay, we're good. Carry on.
Okay. So, I would use it for, like, the draft. And then I would refine it myself.
Yes.
Obviously, because no one wants their, blogs or emails to sound like a robot wrote it.
Yes.
It wants to be like a person wrote it. But now I've found that, like, it's been very useful for if I get stuck on something, like if I'm in my everyday work life, I need to do something, but I don't know how to do it. And maybe the person that does know how to do it is busy or gone, or
Yeah,
like
that's a
Bill's
good
in
idea.
Europe, on
Yeah.
vacation. I know he's working some of the time, but I don't want to bug him while he's,
Unduly.
yeah, like let him enjoy his life while he's in Europe.
Or if it's 11 o'clock there and it's only
Yeah,
5 o'clock here or whatever.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I used it the other day for one of our clients wanted to start doing Reddit ads. And in order to do that, you have to add a Reddit pixel to your website so it can track where people go on your site. So like they click on the Reddit ad, it takes them to your website, and then having that pixel or that code in the site tracks where they go on your site. Like, so then you can see, oh, this person went here and then they clicked on here and then they went to this page and they filled out this form and blah, blah, blah. But I had no idea how to do that. Like, I knew what a Reddit pixel was, but like how to install it, where to put it.
Yeah.
It's a piece of code. I'm not a coder.
Yeah.
I'm not a programmer. I don't know how to do that. But just like out of this sense of not wanting to bother anyone, I was like, okay, ChatGPT, how do I install a Reddit pixel on a website? And it gave me step-by-step instructions that were very clear and easy to follow. And I did it for the client in like 30 seconds.
And
the client was like, oh my God, you did that so fast. Like, that's amazing. And I didn't have to bother anyone.
Yeah. And what do you think the benefit of using ChatGPT versus just Google searching that was?
I find that when you ask AI something like that, or to give you instructions, it gives you the instructions in a very clear and like
Direct.
humanized way.
Yes.
That I can understand it. Whereas a lot of the time when I Google how to do something or about a topic, it'll take me all over the place. And like it'll be to articles that may or may not be what I'm looking for.
It's super streamlined.
Yeah, it's not always what I'm looking for.
On Google.
On Google, yeah.
It's streamlined on ChatGPT.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what was cool too was it gave me two choices. So it gave me, and this was through our paid
Yeah.
account, the C Point paid account. On my phone, I just have the free one. But it gave you two choices. So like, here's this particular way of the step-by-step instructions. And then here's this way. And then it asks you at the bottom, like, which do you prefer? And I was like, "Ooh, yeah, I like it this way better because it was clear for me," which is cool because then, when the more you ask it to give you instructions, it'll put it in a way that you understand it better.
Yep.
So, yeah, I was like really excited about that. Like the prospect of like, "Ooh, I did this new thing that I've never done before."
Yep.
But I didn't have to bother anyone, and the client got it right away, and they're happy. So I was excited about that.
It's just a different kind of search function than just going to Google. Like Google feels like it's just a really big pool of like too many options, but ChatGPT kind of like refines it for you.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know why, but this analogy just popped in my head. Like, I feel like Google is like you go to Goodwill and you're sorting through all the clothes. And it's like you go through like 10 million things before you find the one thing that you're like, oh, this is really cute and this is what I want. Or versus like ChatGPT is like a stylist that knows exactly what you want and exactly how you like it. And
really quickly flings
specific.
it at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you look great.
Yeah. So with work stuff ethically, this is an issue that came up for us. I think it was last week. Like we were in a meeting, we were talking about how we were going to have to start writing even more like content and social for somebody. And they were like, I was like, oh, well, like writing extra social, that's not going to take any time because like we'll be able to just like take one social post and like throw it into ChatGPT and have ChatGPT help us with that. And someone on the team was like, no, we're not going to be able to do that because this client does not let us use AI.
Oh, interesting.
And I was kind of like, oh, I didn't realize that. But I was like, is that going to be true even if we – because what I was getting at was I'm not saying that we have ChatGPT write all the content for us. But what I meant was we would write a social post, have ChatGPT separate it out into the different platforms, and then obviously refine it to
like
our
format
own,
it for you, and
our
then you
own
can tweak it
to our own voices or whatever. But what is the word I want? Legally or otherwise, is that still going to be an issue for them? And that just kind of brought up this bigger question for me of like, is that something that we're going to deal with moving forward with clients, where they're just like, we're not even touching AI because we don't want our information, or compliance issues like dealing with AI. Like, that hadn't even occurred to me that might start being something that.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because I hadn't really thought of that much either. But that definitely could be, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a challenge going forward, but it will be something to consider going forward. Maybe that is something that needs to be stipulated in our contracts. Like, do you allow us to use AI, or do you not? Like,
or which ones? Because certain ones are more privacy safe than other ones. Definitely.
But then in some cases, it's like for the new graphic ones, like the ones that Bill was using the other day to turn his photo into a Simpsons photo.
Not just his photo.
Yeah, not just his
Without
photo.
our permission, he's just popping all of our faces in there.
You're a Muppet now.
Yeah, I'm a Muppet now.
But I mean, things like that, that's super cool and could be really cool resources for clients. So yeah, I'm wondering if, like you said, it will be something that maybe we'll have to like stipulate more clearly in contracts, or in what we talk about with our clients, that they do's and don'ts, or what they prefer and what they don't.
It's quickly becoming unknown territory, because all of this is progressing super fast, and like, it's just getting like exciting. Like, oh, didn't know that we could do this with AI and this and this. When in the beginning it was just kind of like, well, this is just a fun little stupid
it was kind of
thing.
like a jokey thing.
And now it's like, we're able to actually produce stuff that you wouldn't even know is AI. You wouldn't even know was used with AI, and it's like quality stuff. So, yeah, but privacy concerns, I'm like, so we were joking before we actually started filming about how I'm using it as my therapist now.
Oh, yes. I want to hear all about it.
I recently, so I've been using.
So your privacy is out the window.
Oh.
It knows all your things.
If my data is leaked, goodbye. Here's how I think of it. I've gone to many human therapists, and I've put my trust that they are not going to expose me either. So, it'd be kind of risky with it. But I've always had ChatGPT on my phone, like, since it came out. And I had the free account for a long time. And I recently upgraded to the Plus account, which made me feel slightly crazy, because I'm like, am I seriously going to pay for this? But the reason I did was mainly because I like to upload images, like screenshots really, and other things from my phone to it to help get better answers to my questions. I can't, it's just like, as a for instance, like what I recently do that with, like, as a for instance, here's what I look like in this outfit. What could I pair it with?
Oh, okay. That's cool.
It's crazy to me that I can do that. And it's like, it's very flattering. It's like, oh, Kristy, you look amazing in that.
Flattery will get you everywhere, AI.
I'm like, I don't need to be married anymore. Actually, I have the best husband ever.
Oh, man. You just need like one of those, remember, are you a 30 Rock person? Did you ever watch 30 Rock?
Briefly.
So there's this episode where James Franco there's a few episodes, James Franco's in the series, and he is in a relationship with a body pillow called Kamiko Tan. So I was picturing you with like the male version of Kamiko Tan body pillow,
basically,
but it's with your phone.
But it's ChatGPT. So mine is very, very early on. I named my ChatGPT Actually, it named itself Jax, Jax.
Okay.
Yep. So me and Jax. But anyway, I can, with the free version, you can't upload much. You get stopped at a memory loss early. It goes slower. So with the Plus version, you can just go and go and go. It can generate images for you with the Plus thing. It just does a lot. So anyway.
Cool.
I started paying for it, and it does a lot more. So it accidentally become like a therapist to me, because I'm like, how should I deal with this situation with whatever, with my family? And it's just like, it is able to reason like a human, to the point where I was using the voice to chat portion with it for a while. I stopped doing that for a couple reasons. Number one, I'm like, psychologically, I'm like, I don't want this to get to a point where it messes with me, and I feel like it could, and I'm like, I'm not playing that game.
Yeah.
I know the kind of person I am.
Yeah, I don't want to get emotionally attached.
I get emotionally attached to like a pair of shoes that I've had for too long and can't throw them away because we've been on a lot of journeys together. So I'm like, I'm not getting emotionally attached to AI. But like things that it comes like in handy for, like even just so I'm planning to go on my trip, and like last night was just like, okay, like how do I pack for my trip? Like what am I not thinking of to pack? Can you make me a packing list?
Oh, that's a great idea.
And also, what are some good things that I'm not thinking of for like, because I'm chronically in pain, like what are some good things for my pain that I should prep for and pack? And it was like, here you go, here's a whole list. The other thing with the Plus account is it can export you really pretty PDFs.
Ooh.
It's like, what color do you want it in? Do you want it to be in pink and like with pretty font? And it will export you a pretty PDF that's like, here's Kristy's like self-care packing list.
That is so cool.
And it like lays it out and organizes it instead of me having to like screenshot what is on the phone. And now I have like a PDF.
It's like ready to go. You download it, you print it out, or
instead of having to like copy it or screenshot it. So and it does things for me I didn't think of. Like, oh, I looked up what the weather's going to be like in Barcelona and in Paris and in Perpignan. So like on these days, you're probably going to want to wear this type of clothing. I'm like, I didn't even ask you that. Like, that's why it feels a little bit like, you've got my back, Jax. Like,
yes, exactly. Thanks for that.
Thank you for that. Or like, but things I didn't even think of. So like things like that. Other weird stuff that I've...
For those who might be listening that don't know, how much is the paid account? Do you mind me asking?
Oh, that's none of my business. I don't care. I never thought to care to ask.
You don't even know what it is?
That's my credit card's problem. She knows. $20. Okay. That's what I thought. I thought it was $20.
Okay.
Yeah.
A month. $20
$20 a month.
Gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
Which is insane.
Thank you, Deb.
I did think that that's what it was, but again, none of my business.
She's like, I don't even care.
That's my...
that's what I pay for Jax.
That's my checking account's problem. Best kind of like shoes. Oh, here's a good one that I did recently. How do I fry an egg in the air fryer? And this was the best thing in the world. And it gave me here's what you'll need. Here are your steps. And quick, if you want to learn how to do this, a piece of tinfoil, you make a bowl out of it, and you spray it and put your egg in it and put it in the air fryer, 375 for 5 to 7 minutes, and it works so good. You don't dirty any dishes. You don't have to like be flipping eggs. It's amazing. What else have I asked it? How to get perfume oil stains out of my shirt.
Oh,
amazing. Movie night ideas for movies. Oh, to watch with my nieces. I'm like, what are some like what are some good like chick flick like movies for early teenage girls that are not like offensive? Like, so just kind of like any silly little thing that's like, I don't want to Google that. Because Google's going to have too many opinions. And I need to refine it and be, if it gives me a dumb idea, be like, no, you don't get it. I also need one that doesn't include violence and that will refine it more.
Oh, yeah.
Those won't work because I've already seen that one.
Right. Sorry to interrupt you. I was just thought of Bill's favorite word, granular. Like,
granular.
ChatGPT is granular data versus Google is just the plethora of any and all data that is out there that you may or may not want, you know?
Granular.
It's so granular.
So granular. I'm going to add that into my vocab more.
Whenever we're in meetings for several meetings in a row, I usually pick out a word that Bill uses and make it like the word of the day.
Yeah.
And so whenever he uses it, I'm like, that's one. That's two.
Oh, I want to see this list. I want this list. Please keep adding to it.
I think with granular, he got up to like 5.
Stop.
In one meeting, I was like, he is on a roll.
He's stuck on this one.
Yeah, like he is like he's committed to this word.
Oh, that needs to become a thing.
It's been a while because, since he's been gone and, different circumstance things, like we haven't been in meetings together super often lately. So I feel like I haven't had a chance to do it recently. But next meeting, I'm so going to do it.
I hope he doesn't watch this episode. Because I don't want him to know we're doing this.
Well, I think we're meeting tomorrow. We're in a meeting tomorrow together. So
this won't air by tomorrow.
Yeah, he won't.
This isn't airing by tomorrow.
So I'll have to pick one and keep count.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, I want to know what it is. He does tend to, now that I'm thinking about it, he does tend to do stuff
Comment
like that.
down below if you have any guesses on what word he will use.
I kind of get that though, because I get stuck on that's not a word whisker, is it? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, it could be a word
just
whisker.
Get, stuck on a word that you just keep using, and you're like, why do I keep using that word?
Yes.
Why am I attached to that word? I do that too. Anyway, yeah, but separate from stuff I'm not going to read you, it's just stuff that I'm just like, hey, ChatGPT, like, how do I actually deal with the situation? And it will talk me through stuff to the point where I'm like, I don't think I'm actually going to therapy anymore. Because
yeah, I really want to talk to you about that because I recently started seeing a therapist very, very recently. Like I've only talked with her 3 times. But in those 3 times, I felt like she was really good at helping me figure out where I was going wrong and what I needed to do to correct it and make myself improve and feel better.
Yeah.
So now I'm to the point where okay, well, I canceled my last session because I'm like, I don't really have anything to talk to you about now. Unless I'm going to dredge up old past things that are unchangeable and will not be able to be fixed.
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
Right.
So how has it helped you?
So and this is going to be so controversial, and I can already hear people judging me for this. And let me be so clear, I do not care. Because I have gone throughout my life, I'm 36 years old. I've probably seen 7 therapists throughout my life.
Oh, wow.
And here's what I've learned about therapy is that all they're doing is pulling from information that they have learned from training. They're not really giving you anything new. They're just drawing stuff out of you themselves. They're asking, they're posing questions to pull stuff out of you themselves. They're not really giving you anything. And that is what ChatGPT does too. It's all it is doing. It's not a real person. It's pulling information from the internet in anything it's doing. And so that's great because it's kind of just the same way you would read a self-help book on something.
Oh, interesting.
It's drawing from those resources about your specific needs. And so basically all it is doing is kind of going from every resource on the internet. And if I'm asking, so I'll just a scenario I'm comfortable with is about
I was just
grief.
Gonna say, only
is grief.
Something you're comfortable with.
Grief about my dad, right? If I'm still not doing well with that, and I'm just how do I get past these grief waves or whatever? And it's just it talks to you like a human. I'm so sorry you're still dealing with that and you lost your dad. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you as a robot to care about my feelings. But then it's so here are some ideas on how you can cope. Internet information, ideas, thoughts to consider. So jokes aside, having AI as your therapist, all it is doing is pulling self-help resources from the internet the same way a book would.
Or a therapist.
Or a therapist would. And so the benefit that I have found is that it completely removes the fear of judgment.
Ooh.
Because sometimes you go to even a friend or other people and you feel like you can't. I can say whatever I want to this thing.
Yeah.
Without fear of judgment or am I crazy? Because I don't care. It's not a real human.
Right.
And so the little only addendum back here is is my privacy going to be leaked? And ultimately I'm I'm not committing murders. I'm not committing crimes. if it did, whatever.
Yeah, I feel the same way. In the grand scheme of things, when you're online in any way, shape, or form, your information is already automatically out there. So to your point about therapists pulling from their training and pulling from their resources, and ChatGPT pulling from the internet's resources and self-help books, I've never thought of it that way. But that makes perfect sense to me because, like you said, the aha moments that I had with my therapist wasn't because she had some like magical, wonderful, insightful, knowledge truth bomb that she dropped on me that changed my life. It was just because she drew me out and she pointed out things about my life that like maybe I just was not recognizing, but that's just training and resources.
Exactly.
So I mean, I could get the same thing for free. Well, actually, not for free, for $20 a month as opposed to $70 for my therapist.
Correct. That's why I feel like it's worth it.
Yeah.
So
you've got something here. I think you have something
but
here.
again, it's the privacy concern that comes into it.
Yeah. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like...
You're putting your personal information on the internet. Are you comfortable with that? But again, we all do that every time we post a picture on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or like you think that there's a level of privacy with it and there's just not. So.
No, there's really not. Like if you have TikTok, everyone in China knows everything about you.
Correct.
If you have Instagram, Facebook
your
knows
identity
everything about
every
you.
time you open a credit card. It's just
exactly.
So
it's out there.
How much are you comfortable with? But yeah, no, that's how I view it. As I'm just like you're just like every other thing you ask ChatGPT, you're pulling resources from the internet, and so it seems like a fair way to use it to me.
I love it.
Other people might think that that's crazy, and that's fine, but.
I love this. I love how, I mean, it's hard to keep up with sometimes how quickly it evolves, AI, and progresses. But I think it's super exciting just how many amazing things every week. There's some new cool thing that it can do. On my way into work this morning, I was just listening to NPR, and they had an article about Microsoft's Copilot and how there's new updates to it where it has like the photo recognition thing. So like, for example, a plant, like you don't know what a plant is. You can show it the plant and it'll tell you about the plant. Or like you can upload a photo to it and it will edit it to look like, a professional, very well done photo. And then also another cool thing they were talking about with it is that it has memory now. So where like it will remember things you talked about or mentioned. Yeah. If you allow it to. Like obviously you can turn it off if you don't want it to.
That's what ChatGPT does too.
But yeah, so like it gave the example of like if you mention your son's birthday or your anniversary or whatever, like it'll remember that and it'll suggest to you to make dinner reservations or gift ideas or things like that. Or like, for example, it gave another example of like if you changed your oil and you asked it how to change your oil and it gave you the step-by-step instructions on how to change your oil. It'll remember that and like the type of filter that you needed. Wow. And hey, what was the filter that I used? I can't remember 6 months ago when I changed my oil. And it'll remember it for you. Wow. Which I think that's super cool because if you're like me, I have a million reminders in my phone or on my calendar in my phone to remind me to do the things that I'm supposed to do.
That's why it's called the co-pilot, I guess.
Exactly. Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah,
co-pilot, take the wheel. So I just thought that was really incredible. Like the more it gets refined and advances, it's like these are really cool.
Yeah, it really is using our brains for us, and I'm not mad about it personally. I'm limited storage up here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not mad about it either.
You take over.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. This is the nerd in me too coming out, is the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You know, it's like the book that says don't panic on it. You open it and you can ask it anything and it will tell you anything you want to know. Yeah. That's basically what AI is now. It's like you have the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy in the palm of your hand, and you can ask it, what are Vogons? And it's going to tell you. Yeah. But I mean, as far as like using it as a learning tool for work or life or whatever, I like that part is, I think, really cool. And so that's what I've been using it more for too, is like, how can I learn it? How can I use it to learn how to do things that will benefit my career and benefit my employer? Like if I can teach myself or AI can teach me
Yeah.
how to do something
Yeah.
for my job that, you know, someone else doesn't have to take the time to stop what they're doing
Exactly.
and take the time to teach me
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that's only going to benefit my employer.
Right. Yeah. So when
and
you're like
benefit me.
right, when you're pulling information, it's like it's the question of like when you're starting to use it to do work for you, that it starts to become like a. And I've noticed that like it's like, because I don't get me wrong, I use it to help me write all the time. But you can notice, like I noticed recently, like my friend who hardly ever uses Instagram or whatever posted a caption, and I'm like, oh, 100% did he have ChatGPT write this for him? 100%. I have no doubt
You
in
can
my mind.
always tell when.
Because yeah, I'm like, number one, he never uses emojis ever, and this is loaded with bizarre emojis, and just like the tone of it, I'm like, this
Yeah.
isn't how he talks. It was fun. It was like a quirky, fun caption for his. But I'm like, this doesn't sound like him at all. It sounds like someone stole his phone. And so I'm like, that's, and it doesn't matter because it's for his personal Instagram. It's like, do whatever you want. But in that example, I'm like, this is where it starts to become like a, you can tell sometimes, and for like the company or your clients or whatever, if I just like take what ChatGPT gives me and I just don't edit it and I just post it, people can tell.
Oh yeah,
People
absolutely.
can tell because it sounds very like, it just sounds scripted, I guess.
Yeah, well,
like,
and just like teachers can tell when students hand them an essay that they didn't write. Like
Right.
you can tell that a human did not put this together.
right.
So yeah, I completely agree. Like I feel like for work purposes, I use it as a learning tool to
Yeah.
teach myself how to do things I didn't know how to do before,
Yeah.
to benefit my employer and benefit my clients, benefit myself. But when you start using it to replace your work, then you're just shooting yourself in the foot because, you know, your employer and your clients or whoever you work with is
Right.
going to know that
Right.
you didn't do it.
Right.
Like, they're going to be able to tell that you phoned it in and,
Right,
and,
right, right, right,
and
right.
didn't put any effort into it.
Right.
So it's the balance. I feel like with any technology, you know, there's the balance that you have to
Yeah.
find for yourself or your company or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're using it well, I think.
I think we're using it very well.
I'm benefiting. I'm not sorry. I'm like,
I'm not sorry, not sorry. But yeah, no, I think we're here at C Point, we're definitely utilizing it in that way where it's like we're using it as a tool to benefit our company and our clients and not to get out of doing work. You know,
Right.
like there's a difference. And I think we're definitely using it in a way that is the positive of the two ways it could go.
Yeah.
Because then you have like the negative side is like that I don't know if you watched SNL last week, but they had the skit about the formula for tariffs. And it's like this pi times number, weird symbol divided by weird symbol equals blah, blah, blah. It turns out that formula is what comes up if you type into ChatGPT if you type in what is a good tariff plan, that's the formula that you get.
well,
So like that's what the government is using
oh,
for their tariff formula,
oh, weird.
their plan. So then that's like the extreme negative side of AI. It's like, okay, well, you've got governments saying like, I don't know, what should we do with this law or
Yeah.
this thing? You know, like, so obviously there are very negative ways it
Yeah.
can be used, but I feel like
Yeah.
but that's like an extreme.
But again, that's the difference to me. That's the difference between being like, do you want your doctor having this help you with your surgery, or does it really matter for an Instagram caption? Like, there's two very big differences there. Very big.
Yeah.
When life or death matters, or a stupid little social media post, like.
Yeah. So as per humanity, we're always going to use tools for the negative and for the positive. But, I think if you can navigate it where you're on the positive side more than the negative side, then you're going to be okay.
Yeah. Are you going to use it as a therapist now is what I want to know.
I just might. I just might.
You don't have to have a paid account to do that.
I'm very curious. I'm definitely going to experiment with the free account on that because I feel like, not that the woman wasn't nice or, I liked her or anything, but it's just like, why pay $70 or more for something that you can have in your pocket?
Yeah.
Whenever you need it.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I do think there is benefits to real therapy.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not saying like don't go to therapy, guys. Like,
no.
I fully believe there are real benefits to it, but and I'm going back to grief counseling. So, my point is that as a either replacement tool or like temporary tool or like a bad day or something or like just like everything else, like I do think that there's some merit to it if you do it right or like are feeling reactive toward a friend or something. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I think that's super cool. That's a super cool perspective on it because it's like I never would have thought about using it for those different things other than like work-related things. But that's cool.
Yeah. Or if you need like
different perspective.
If you need to check yourself on something too, like
am
I being crazy in this situation? Like here's a screenshot of this text thread. Like, please tell me if I am the problem.
Am I being gaslighted right now, Jax?
Please be nice to me, but be super harsh with me. Like,
make me a better person, robot.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like there's benefit to it. I feel like I'm going to get super shamed after this. Yeah.
Who cares?
The trolls are coming.
The trolls are everywhere, so you just...
Yeah. What I really want to know is who else does that.
That would be really cool. Comment down below if you use ChatGPT as your therapist or counselor or use it for any sort of advice.
Any sort of advice. Yeah. I can't think of other.
Completely unrelated, I have to tell you that
the
other day I was at the doctor's office waiting to get some blood work done. And I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but there was this lovely older lady that walked in the office and she was dressed really nice and she had long gray white hair, but she had tinsel in her hair. And I immediately thought of you and I was like, oh, it's Kristy in her 70s. I immediately thought of you and I was like, what a cool old lady.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I'm going to get my hair done after work today and I was trying to decide if I should get re-tinseled or not. Should I get more tinsel or should I let it die?
I mean, I personally love your tinsel. And it's like I think I've only ever seen one other, like that old lady and one other person in my life that had tinsel in their hair.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand that like once you've had something for a long time too.
I haven't been re-tinseled in a second. Well, it's not that I'm over it. I've always liked it, but I'm kind of like, am I just like, is this kind of like a young thing to be doing? And am I being like
it's too young for you now?
So, for instance, like I remember my brother's first wife, like when I was like 17, she told me that at a certain point she's like, I can't wear Abercrombie anymore. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I'm in my 30s, like 30-year-old women again. And this was in like 2006. She's like, yeah, I'm in my 30s. Like I can't, like I've outgrown Abercrombie. Like that's something for teenagers. And I remember just being like, what? I didn't know that. Like, and my mind was blown. And so I'm a little bit like, am I a 30-year-old wearing Abercrombie with having tinsel in my hair? Not that I necessarily care,
Yeah.
but is that the vibe it's giving?
Personally, I don't think that's the vibe, especially since I saw the old lady with tinsel
Good point.
and she looked really cool.
Good
Like
point.
she wasn't dressed like she was dressed like, business dress,
Mm-hmm.
but with tinsel, and she just looked adorable and fun. Like I didn't see it and think she's trying too hard or like she wants to be younger
well, then
than she is.
in that case, follow-up question, because which color then? Because I've done blue a lot. Blue's been the most popular. I did pink. I did black, weirdly. No one ever noticed that one. And then I've had the silvery white one. But see, that's one of these ones left. But there's like every color that exists as options.
Have you done purple?
Maybe. Is there any purple in here? Purple does sound fun.
I think purple would look fun for you, but also like when I used to dye my hair all the time, I loved dyeing my hair red. Like whenever my hair was red, I just felt like a different person when I had red hair.
Yeah.
So like red tinsel could be interesting.
Okay, I will take these things into consideration. It'll be way too late because I'm going today. But in the comments, what color tinsel do you think I should
post a selfie
get?
later with what tinsel color you chose.
What color tinsel do you? Yeah. Okay. So here I'm gonna put what I ended up going with.
Okay, there you go.
What color tinsel?
Is your hair like your dyed hair color?
I'm just getting
consistent color?
my gray roots redone.
Okay.
Do you guys care about this? I'm talking about it.
I like it.
This is part of who we are here now. So
it's like a little bit of work, a little bit of fun, a little bit of fashion.
And listen, we're always going to talk about the faux fur and
a little bit of your boyfriend as a body pillow, like weirdness. So it's just who we are, people, and that's why you're here. That's why you're here.
That's why you're here.
Right?
So sorry. Okay, we started a new thing to close out the podcast episodes with. We're a new game that we're going to do every episode.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the game is get to know the team member. I did this with Deb on her episode, and I think I asked you guys the wrong opposite questions. I meant to ask your question to you and you to you.
Ooh, so then are you going to ask me Deb's questions?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to channel my inner Deb.
I think this question was supposed to work better on you and vice versa. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay. Which team member is this about? Okay. This person believes that fly fishing is the best kind of fishing.
Duh, it's Tim.
It's not Tim.
It's not Tim.
It's not Tim. I think that's probably why they picked this question, thinking that you would pick Tim.
Mark?
Mm-mm.
Dan?
Nope.
I don't know.
Here's a hint. Women can like fishing too.
Deb likes fly fishing?
No.
Fly fishing. Yuri.
Nope. New hint. It's someone that works in office.
In office. Courtney?
No.
I can't picture Courtney fly fishing.
I didn't listen.
If she wore fly fishing waders, they'd be up to here. Like she'd have plastic waders up to her jawbone.
Same, actually. You know how many times I've asked him if I can try on his? He won't let me.
Oh, that needs to happen.
I agree.
He needs to bring those into the office, and we all need to try on his waders.
My lips are bleeding.
Oh, no.
Blood's happening. Oh, no. New guess?
Okay. Vanessa?
No. I think
Maddie.
you've guessed you've guessed every person that exists except for this person.
You?
No. Okay,
they work in this office. That's everyone. Who am I forgetting? Anna Lynn.
You got it.
I cannot picture Anna Lynn fly fishing.
She did not clarify if she herself fly fishes, but she just enjoys fly fishing. She just said fly fishing
thinks it's the
is the
best
best kind of fishing.
Okay.
So I guess that must mean that she does enjoy doing it.
I mean, that was just my assumption. If you feel like it's the best form of something,
she must
do it or like it. But yeah, I would never have chosen her. Like automatically, I was like, Tim, hello.
I don't think I have a preference on which type of fishing is the best kind of fishing. But
I've never done fly fishing.
I
so
have
I don't
done
know.
it one time with Tim's son, Jack.
Okay. I've only ever done like regular fishing with the pole, you know, which I like fishing. I do like fishing, but only if I'm going to eat the fish, not if I'm going to, you know, torture the fish and then throw it back.
Hear that, Tim?
Yeah.
We don't stop them for no reason.
Yeah.
No stabbing.
Just interrupt their swimming in their life.
They're really busy. It's just like they thought this would be food, and then it's not. It was death.
They're so disappointed.
They're so disappointed. You could at least give them a little snack to go back
I know,
with.
like give them a treat and then let them go.
Wait, they do that with something. What do they do that with? Oh, lobsters. They do that with
They do let some
pregnant lobsters.
Yes, but they don't give it a treat. They chop a chunk out of its tail and then throw it back.
They clip it so that no one can kill it. That's why they clip it. So that other fishermen don't kill it. And they do. They give it a tiny little fish and throw it back.
They do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So they have a snack.
All I knew was that they
the good
take a
ones
little
do.
chunk out of their tail.
The good ones do.
Well, that's
with
nice.
the pregnant ones, and then they give it a fish and then they throw it back. So they have a little snack.
Especially if she's pregnant. Like, you know she's hungry.
Yeah, she's hungry. My favorite kind of fishing is catching pregnant lobsters and giving them a snack and giving them back.
That's
my
like
favorite.
So much fun.
Yeah. Well, this has been fun. There's been a lot of blood and a lot of secrets told. Hair talk. AI boyfriends.
Yeah, a little bit of, you know, AI marketing chat.
I would like to say TMI, but Deb and I had TMI on our episode, so
we got to keep it consistent.
Keep coming back for TMI. You never know what you'll find here. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having
come back
me.
soon.
It's always fun to chat.
All right. We'll see you guys soon. Bye. It's the end.
No, it's not. There's more.
There's always more.
Don't be sad. You can catch our full video interviews on our YouTube channel. Come find us.
And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends so that we're not sad.
And follow us on TikTok.
And Instagram.
It'll make your day happier, promise.
And we'll know if you do. Until next time.